This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, wherever you are. I am Cheryl Boado, and today I am joined by this lovely lady next to me, Kaloy. I will let her introduce herself in a moment, but today, INCRadio Fit and Faithful is bringing you live in an activity in the district of Britain South, the local congregation of Battersea, where they are conducting their early year workout, which actually fits with today's show, which is the New Year Health Checkout. So we're going to go through a few tips for you so that you can remember to look after yourselves and those around us. So we will go ahead and jump into our topic of conversation. And again, this is Kaloy. Kaloy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, Cheryl. Happy New Year to you and to your family. Hope everyone is doing well and healthy. Happy New Year to all our viewers of INCRadio, wherever you are in the world. I just wanted to greet you. Happy New Year. And yes, today's topic is so in time because, of course, the new year, there's a lot of planning, there's a lot of, trying to change this. And what they say sometimes, people do set New Year's resolutions. Absolutely. I don't know if people still do that, but yes, I mean,
I think at first, because today is the 4th of January, and as we all know, throughout the times of you've got a break from work, maybe the break from school, I know that I ate so much and I didn't move much. So I did a lot of sitting down in the couch, watching TV and eating. So, I mean, that's normal and casual for this time of year. But now that we head into the new year, so the 2025, everything that happened there has ended. So like in our show last week when we did healthy habits for 2026, now it's really the time when it comes to really assessing ourselves.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because, New Year, again, is for reflection of our plans, setting of new goals, not just for us, for our families as well. And I do believe that New Year health checks should be one of the top priorities. Don't get us wrong. It's not that you can't do this at any specific time. It's just that New Year usually, or when people always redo their or evaluate or their plans or if they have hit their goal from the past year.
Yes.
But of course, to whatever situation or time or phase of life that you are in, you are more than welcome, isn't it, Brother Harley?
Hello. We have a guest here, Brother Harley Alcantara, the District Minister of Britain South.
Hello, brethren. Good afternoon. And
any shout out?
I would like to say hi to my dearest wife,
Sister
Arlie, and my children, Bentom, Nebang, and Ten. Hello.
So thank you. And he is joining us in our activity today, so maybe we'll see him doing some active.
Yes, but I need to do it behind the camera.
Okay.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
Oh, that was such a nice hello. Hi.
Right.
I mean, because as we mentioned earlier, sorry, just to a quick pause in our there are some brethren here in between their activity, which is why maybe you can hear at home. It's a little bit noisy, but hopefully they behave themselves and that you can actually hear us. But I think you can. I think you can.
Yeah, but going back up, Cheryl, when was the last time you had yourself checked?
Well, you see, the problem with a certain
Hello everyone, happy INCRadio.
that's
Happy New Year.
Mother Correa, who is the resident minister of our local congregation of Battersea.
We're just asking Brother Cromwell, when was the last time you had yourself checked?
Just last year.
Okay.
Around Christmas.
Okay. And I do believe you do it annually?
Yes. Usually I do it around my birthday. So just to some reminder. Hey, it's another year, get another checkup.
Amazing. Thank you, Brother.
Do you have any shout outs?
Yeah.
Shout out to all the brethren in Britain South, and of course the local congregation of Battersea and Stratford and Eastbourne and everybody else.
Thank you, Brother Cromwell. Thank you. So we will probably be seeing more of Brother Cromwell participate in the activity, but here they are behind me. You can see a lot of movements there. If you see anything that you like, please feel free to join them at home. Again, our topic of discussion today is really about how we take the time to do a health check.
Yes. So again, I want to go back to you. When was the last time you actually have yourself checked?
So the problem with me, and it's not really an excuse, and I believe that some of our viewers may relate to this, because it's when you're a certain woman with a certain age and you've got responsibilities, your children, your husband, your duties, and your work, you tend to forget about yourself.
You meant being 25, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wish I can still feel like I'm in my 20s, but sadly, no. I'm really feeling, I think, my age at the moment because of all the things that I've just listed, as well as the weather. So I have not had a health check since last year, and that's only because I got a reminder from my GP. Because I reach a certain age, here in the UK, you get reminded to come to make an appointment with your GP. They take your blood, they check for diabetes, your lungs. So that's actually one of the only reason why I had the health check. But other than that, I wouldn't have.
Okay, but that's good. At least for those who doesn't know what a GP is, it's general practice or general practitioners. They normally, here in the UK, we have the NHS or the National Health Service, which is very beneficial for all the residents who are here in the UK because you've got that. It's something that we could classify as like really good service of checkups without paying any penny. And so I was asking Cheryl about this because I myself had just recently had my blood test. So the answer to that, I would say, when is the best time? Kaloy, Cheryl, when is the best time? Dear viewers, when is the best time to actually have your health check? So we'll also be looking at comments on the YouTube based on when do you do your health check? Because as for me and as an advice as well, the best time to do checkups is when you feel good.
Right. With regards to the advice that Kaloy is going to give us today, can you tell our listeners and viewers your credentials?
So I have been working in the world of diabetes, but it is closely related to cardio, also heart related, or we basically call it CBRM or cardiovascular, metabolic and renal as well. So anything that is like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, I specialize in that.
Wow, so you're actually the perfect person for us to have on this show today, because I believe that one of the most leading or most common diseases today is diabetic. Well, diabetes. Yeah, I don't know so much about it myself, but it's very helpful to have someone that you can approach just to ask really the basic questions on how does one get diabetes? How do you prevent diabetes? And I know,
We can do that in a specific show as well, or a specific episode. But this episode today, we'll just be talking about your health check in general. We'll also be advising you on how here in the UK and the NHS, like what age you go for your cervical screening, for your breast screening. We're able to do that for men, your prostate screening as well. Who do I approach to? Because sometimes it's that thing of who do I call?
That's right. It's just not knowing who to go to,
Yeah.
who to ask questions. And sometimes, depending on where you are, you also think, oh, it's such a hassle to make an appointment with the GP. You're going to be on the phone for a long time.
Yeah.
So hopefully, guys, today this show is able to give you some information. If you can take away a lot of things that we discussed today, then that's excellent. But otherwise, if it just means that it prompts you, it reminds you to see somebody, or pause.
Yeah, definitely.
Just pause and decide, oh, when did I last do a check on myself?
And again, the normal action of people is that they go to the GP or they go to the hospitals for their healthcare providers when they are sick. With the New Year health check advice that we do have, we would say when you are feeling better and when you're feeling good, it's actually the right time to check. But also it's very important that you also check your background. Like for example, we are Filipinos, or maybe some of our watchers are audiences from different backgrounds. Because as you have said, a lot of the ethnicities that some people may not know, the Asian, African, Caribbean, South African, and South Asian, these are ethnicities that store more fats compared to the white European background. And that's not something that we've asked. It's something that's built and genetic.
Right.
So these are things that we already have. It was gifted to us, even if we didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
And also, this is very common in my practice. I'd always ask someone like, some people may know, some people may not know, but it is worth asking your family members. Like, mom, dad, or maybe siblings, if they're not around, like who among our family members had these types of diseases or illnesses? What were the illnesses that existed? Because sometimes, you know, I would always tell this analogy as like, when you go to a battle, it is always best to come prepared, isn't it? You always go to a battle knowing who your enemy is. So meaning to say, you need to know what are your risk factors. Do you have family members? Because these could also be genetic, although a very low percentage of like, maybe for example, we say cancer or CA, it's like 5% genetic, but metabolic as well. It's lifestyle, but also again, as what I mentioned earlier, like our race as well, and also the bloodline as well. So it is worth checking if you belong, because again, our bodies, just like how we maintain our cars, how we maintain our gadgets and all that, right? And these things are replaceable.
Yeah.
And our bodies,
We need an MOT.
I mean, yes, definitely.
We need an annual MOT.
I'll check up, because unfortunately it's not as easy to replace. Well, you only have one body, like physical body, but what it is, you know, someone might tell you, oh, Cheryl, you could always get like a kidney transplant. I think it's not that easy as you think about it, but what we're saying is that we take care of the things and maintain them. We maintain our kitchens to be looking nice.
Because sometimes we might not feel the symptoms.
Definitely.
Especially if you just feel tired, because you might feel tired because you think, I'm so busy at work.
Yes.
So you feel fatigued and you just write it off. Yes. Oh, it's because I'm stressed, I'm busy. But
yes, so there's something cooking already inside. That's really a very good point that you stated in there, because a lot of us watching as well in there, I know you can relate. I can see it here. Glad to be with you, and maybe a lot of us relating, saying that, yes, I feel tired all the time. Do I go toilet more than usual? Do I drink a lot of water? Am I hungry than usual? And we sometimes say, oh, this is just PMS, premenstrual syndrome for women.
Yeah.
This is just me, stress eating. But actually, these are pre-symptoms of diabetes already, or these are other symptoms. Like, for example, people who get heart attacks. right? So there are symptoms already. They might be feeling unwell before the heart attack happens, but then we kind of nod
You may
and
not
say,
know what those symptoms mean.
yes. So definitely, it is always worth checking, especially when we're feeling better. And knowing the enemy again is the best way. So knowing our numbers, as easy as our blood pressure, as quick as our blood sugar testing at home, maybe.
How about the level of energy
Yes,
and focus?
that's the one I was saying about fatigue, tiredness, excessive tiredness. Because what it is, if I may tell you quickly, why do we feel tired when we have maybe diabetes or maybe high cholesterol and all that? It's because supposedly we eat carbohydrates so that it could fuel us. It could go to our cells to give us fuel. But then what happens is, because the insulin is like a mechanical key to the cell that allows it to go in, so the food or the glucose couldn't go in. It's just staying outside. So we feel tired because it's just staying in the bloodstream. That's the reason why we feel fatigued. Like, I don't want to be too technical in here, but as what I'm saying is, if you feel any symptoms at all, because we use our bodies for everything, yet we forget that, this is the top maintenance that we need to do.
Yeah.
Yes. Would you agree with that?
I completely agree. And one of the things that we touched on is that people only go to the GP once they feel that something is wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes our body has been telling them already, but because of the busyness of life, you put it off. And then once you finally go to the GP, that's when you might get news that you could have been prevented had you gone sooner.
Yeah.
So the things that we talked about is, because it's the new year, we make plans about our faith. We make plans about maybe our job, the things that we want, finances, what we want to achieve this year. But when do we actually include in conversation and in our goals about our body? So like you mentioned, go and see the GP for your health checks. And am I right in saying, Kaloy, that we are welcome to do that here in the UK whenever we want?
Yes. So one, if you're feeling something is off already, contact the GP, and they're gonna ask you normal questions like, does it run in the family? Did you have this? Like, some people may have it, like for women when they were pregnant, did you have the symptoms? But in general, what they can also do is they can do this. So first, you have to book an appointment. I am just reading this because this is basing on what the NHS or the National Health Service, like, how do they do it?
So this is specifically for those listeners and viewers in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
So wherever you are in the world, if you are listening and you are watching us today, if you can make sure that you look at the process in the country that you reside.
Yeah. So for local and national guidelines, that is applicable, or states applicable in your place. But definitely, it's like booking an appointment. You can call and say, hello, I'd like to book a routine appointment. In here, if you haven't done it in a year, they would normally let you do it. Like I did a year ago. So for example, Cromwell, he says every August, they're going to let you, especially when you're in that age already. So I'd like to discuss as well a general health check, something like that. So they can do that. And then you could also ask about specific screening. That's what we've mentioned earlier. Like, we could ask about, do you have like cancer screening? And they're going to check your risk factors. Don't be afraid. I mean, it's quite scary to talk about these because these are big words.
And I think people avoid getting the information because they're afraid of the results.
I know. I remember last episode with Darwin talking about be comfortable in being uncomfortable. Yes. Because exactly that is what you need. So you'll be on top of your health. And the next one is for men. You can discuss, like, for example, when you're the age of 50 to 70, when you hit the age 50 already, you could start having screenings. It's not going to be a routine, but of course, predominantly, they're going to have to look if you've got it in your family members, your ethnicity as well. But in general, in the UK, at age 50, they're 50 years old.
Yeah. So that's for the men, and I think the women
Is 50 to 70 as well. They're going to do the mammogram every 3 years as well. And also, if you have like family histories of like cervical, or most importantly, Cheryl, is if they have symptoms like there, for example, oh, say I have PCOS, or what do you call this, as the they're bleeding sometimes, or their menstruation is not regular. So they would just say, oh, it's normal. But sometimes if that becomes like you're so used to it and you just don't notice that it could be boiling something up, or it could be cooking something inside, you still have to go and get yourself in check. Again, if you have PCOS or irregular menstruation, especially if it just happened to you, you really have to watch out for those signs. And also breast screening examination. You could do it yourself. There are lots of YouTube videos as well. You could use the NHS ones. Breast self-examination, and this is to take you like a minute or two. When you do it in a shower as well, you could just put like maybe a prompt for you to, the prompt in there, like maybe a sticker on the wall to remind you that it will be always best that you are going to do breast screening when you're having a bath, because there might be lumps that are, arising or just coming up, and you just notice about it.
Yeah, I mean, for me myself, so I'm of the age where a possible menopause can start at any time. It's something that I'm not fully aware of, purely because in my body I don't feel that I've had any of the symptoms of the menopause. But that doesn't mean to say that I haven't had any. It's purely the lack of knowledge in myself. What are the symptoms of the menopause? And maybe other women have different types of symptoms, and some women don't have any at all. Which is why it's important to get yourself checked out. And again, going back to what the point that Kaloy made earlier, is to really stop and check.
Sharon, this is very important. We're talking about a very important topic, because this only don't affect us or the individual. This affects our families. This affects the people around us, because menopause, right? For women out there, shout out. If you're experiencing premenopausal, you could comment in how you're feeling today. Because definitely, you will have the symptoms of, why am I irritated so quickly? Why am I always hot in the evening? Like, what? Maybe you and Chris would be like, Chris, why did you turn on the heater?
It's so hot.
And the thing about that is, this could cause pity or little arguments, which we don't want to have.
And for those with children, and especially with young children, you can become irritable. You suddenly, why have you not done this? Or why are you not listening? But actually, in hindsight, if you weren't having those symptoms, it might be nothing to you. It might be like, oh, it's just a normal, regular.
With the children as well. I mean, me and Josh are in that age where they could understand, right? It is worth explaining to them that, mommy is experiencing menopausal stage at the moment, premenopausal. Pardon me, there are things. So these are things that could only not help you, but your relationships with others. And most importantly, Cheryl, when we are in our community in the church, because maybe people will be thinking that we are neglecting our duties.
But really, it's not.
There's
You're going through physical things.
Just
to be clear, before we carry on, I am not going through menopause. I am not going through menopause.
Just in case.
Not yet. I'm not of that age yet. No, I am.
Disclaimer. But anyway, yes, definitely.
Exactly, because you can feel, or maybe if you hold the duty and you see others, those under your care, maybe who are not as energetic as they once were. And of course, we always provide the aid of how are you? Are you all right? What's going on? But you see, people don't know it until you say.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you are more than welcome to gatekeep whatever you want to keep to yourselves, but at least, there'll be that understanding as well of at the moment I'm having this, or I'm going through a phase. So relationships wouldn't be wounded.
No. And actually, with regards to the topic today, so it's not just the physical health that we're talking about. The health check that you must really look into is also how you're feeling on the inside. So when we're relating to, well, maybe you're just a bit moody today. So to your husband, you're irritable, to your family, to your children, and to those with duties in the church or the brethren in general. Like Kaloy said, express to them. I know we don't have to talk to everybody about our emotions. Some of us may not be comfortable in doing that. But this is where the advice is, talk to somebody.
Yes,
right?
So here in the UK, Cheryl, we also have in our community in the church, we also have the CMDPS. So for those who doesn't know what CMDPS is, so this is a Christian Medical, Dental, and Paramedical Society.
Yeah.
So it consists of professionals as well that works in the NHS mostly, and some of them are working privately, but definitely healthcare. So if you don't want to go to your GP yet, if you don't want to go to, hello,
we have another guest. We have two guests. So hello, say hello.
Yeah. So this is what we're talking about, why we have to be healthy, because
we can't be moody to these beautiful children.
Yeah, and also we have to set an example to them. So again, CMDPS, you could always get in touch with them. Our president is Darwin Bison, is also a clinical psychologist, and I myself helping him in that. And
he was actually featured in our show a couple of weeks ago. So if you missed that show, make sure to rewatch it. But we are hoping to have him more on our show to just give us different topics of discussions when it comes to the psychological side of our health.
Yeah, mental health, because he talks about sleep as well, which is directly related to metabolic disorders as well. Like we had a seminar on that, and like how the ghrelin hormones
This is what
affect sleep. So this is why we have to be healthy, because we have to enjoy a lot of things. Say hello, say Happy New Year. Say Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
Yes. And now
we are going to prepare ourselves for a station break so that we can regroup with our family, but also to think about the things that we've already discussed so far. So if our tech is listening to us, so before we have a station break, during that, Kaloy and I will be going through the YouTube chat. So if you haven't already done so, comment down below any questions that you have for us today, and also any questions that you'd like us to cover in the future shows. But for now, let's have a station break.
This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Ang susunod na episode sa Discover Western Visayas. Sama-sama tayong mamasyal sa paraisong nasa loob lamang ng San Carlos City, ang Sipaway Island, isang destinasyon na puno ng malapuskard na tanawin, sariwang hangin at tunay na probinsyang ambience. Simulan natin sa napakalinaw na dagat at mapuputing buhangin ng Sipaway. Perfect para sa beach lovers at sa mga gustong mag-relax habang pinapakinggan ang hampas ng alon. I-explore din natin ang mga kilalang resorts dito kung saan pwedeng mag-swimming, mag-snorkeling at ma-experience ang payapang island life kasama ang pamilya at mga kaibigan. At dahil island ito, hindi rin mawawala ang mga man-made souvenirs na talagang mamamangha ka. Kaya, samahan niyo kami na tuklasin ang napakagandang tanawin at kakaibang karanasan dito sa Sipaway Island. Dito lang yan sa Discover Western Visayas sa INCRadio.
What makes a family strong? It's trust. Trusting that the family members will listen.
Hey, how's your day?
Pretty exhausting.
Come, let's eat. You can tell me all about it.
Honesty opens the door to understanding and closeness.
Is everything okay?
No, we're supposed to do a group presentation, but the other won't even help me.
Sometimes you need a lot of courage to say what you think or feel, but it's worth it. Try it.
When your children are honest about something sensitive, tell them how much you appreciate their honesty. Why do we keep reminding our children? Because we love them and we want them to grow up trusting our Almighty God.
Sorry guys, welcome back to our show. Here we are in the local congressional fantasy district of Britain South, where we are live at an activity of fitness, but right now they're doing something else. It sounds like fireworks, but I'm hoping that my microphone here is doing its job. But now we come to our show where we will be showing you one of the activities that happened in our satellites, and that is the District of Ireland, Britain North and Britain South. So please go ahead and play our canned video. Welcome back to our show. You have just seen a video regarding the Ireland, where they had their district year-end celebration. And here in Britain South and Britain North, we also had our celebration, and we hope to bring those footages to you next week. But for the time being, we do have a CMV for you. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. But if not, we have our special guest today, which is Kaloy, and she has been very helpful so far in discussing the topic, which we will pick up shortly. But for now, please enjoy our short CNV.
Yeah, I am proud to be INC, and these blessings abound for all in the INC.
Blessings abound, they keep on coming every day. The Lord our God is so generous when I pray. I receive His goodwill and protection, His love and His mercy, they keep me in the right direction.
If you feel you're slipping, just go to our God, for He's the only one who leads the strength to go on. Yeah, He's waiting for you to call upon Him, and He will save you.
on the final day, but we first need to serve in the proper way. Got my membership, I'm complete. The devil on the prowl, trying to get to me, trying to tempt me, trying to get the best of me. I fight the winning battle, I ain't fazed by the short-lived and the temporary.
I don't gotta be known to have more wealth than one can own, but I always gotta make sure that my faith is grown.
Keep my relationship with God strong. 'Cause tell me what's the point of having it all if after this life we got no eternal heavenly home? Yeah, you know that I am.
Yeah, I am
Don't let yourself be caught off guard. You've been blessed with this calling to be among God's chosen ones. Yeah, to be among God's chosen ones. So don't be swayed, don't stop, nor slow down. So don't be swayed, don't stop, nor slow down. Yeah, say it with me. I might see proud, run towards the crowd. If you feel like you have got the weight of burdens on your shoulders, strength. You know it'll help you endure. There ain't nothing you can't do when you trust in Him. So let the blessings fall down. Let the blessings fall down.
blessings abound. They don't stop raining on me. I am, you know that I am. Blessings abound. They don't stop raining on me.
Welcome back to our show. I hope that you enjoyed that short song for us, the INC music, original music. We are here live on a Sunday afternoon, 20 minutes before 5. And during that music break, we were able to go through some of the YouTube comments, which we do have questions for you. But for now, let's just go through a few mentions. Kaloy, do you have any just through the YouTube?
Yes, so looking at the greetings, it says, good morning po, happy Monday po, mula rin sa distrito ng Santa Cruz, Laguna, Congregational Poblacion, Laguna. May tungkulin kagawad PNK at kadiwa mga awit po, masiglang may tungkulin ilan sa may Caramonte. Shout out po to all watchers and viewers in the Philippines. Good morning, isn't it?
That's right. So
it's midnight.
it is it's midnight. However, it is officially the 5th of January there in the Philippines. But thank you to those who are watching us from the Philippines, and thank you for your comments as well. We would like to just say a quick hello to those who are posting. So we have people from the local congregation of Wimbledon, and that is Brother Teddy, Sister Babylon from Norwich. Happy viewing from Norwich and Wotton.
Of course, a shout out to all the brethren watching from Notting Hill.
Thank you for the continuous support, especially with your guest here being from the local congregation of Notting Hill.
Hope we'll be able to come back.
Yes, no, we hope. I mean, if you're listening to us and you have really enjoyed everything that you've heard today, especially from Kaloy, talking through from a professional, send us your questions. It doesn't have to be in YouTube right now. You can send it to us personally, send it to her, and we will certainly, hopefully, she'll come back.
Yeah, because definitely health is not a destination. It's a journey, Cheryl. So we definitely have to navigate this journey together. So if you've got questions around, if you bump into us, just say hi and hello, drop us a Telegram message. And of course, every Sunday on INCRadio. Yep, again. Okay, so we've picked up our
Few questions.
Our comment section is exploding of comments and questions. So we've only been able to pick up at least 3. This is something that we think that is very relatable, or maybe something that we wanted knowledge about. So there was a question. Let me just pull out the question. He says, Ate, when life is busy with duties in church, taking care of family, and working a full-time job, what tips do you have for eating good food with little time?
That's a really good one, because when you're in a hurry, you feel like you're just shoving things in your mouth just because you're hungry and you need to go.
Exactly. So the bottom line for that question, I would start from the bottom and we'll go down deeper on the top, is aim for better, not for perfect. For example, you are going to do, like, for example, I need to go to church today. What do I have to do? So you have to think of, where are you going to go? Am I going to be eating home cooked food in there? Am I going to be eating fast food? What should I need to do? So it's a balance of your time, what is easy to prepare, like frozen vegetables, right? They would say, but it's frozen, it's not helpful. It is helpful, and it may be a lot more nutritious and densely packed with nutrients, because from where they were harvested, they were already frozen. Rather than if you harvest them and then you travel them, as some local shops say, organic, or get some fresh produce. It's good, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with having it frozen. Vegetables, 5 a day, don't forget about that. Your 3 portions of vegetables and your 2 portions of fruits. We can deep dive later on, but definitely about cutting time short with juggling. I can relate myself as well. I've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old Cheryl, and maybe you've got teenagers as well. And some of you may have adults, but of course you may be having a more hectic schedule, because social life it kind of gets busier when as you think like, I'm retiring already, I might have a lot of time for myself, but then there's a lot of catching up to do with your friends as well. And a lot of duties as well we do for the church. So tips would be something that you like, that is nutritious. So it could be like frozen vegetables. It could be like, for example, tinned tunas in like water. We're not talking here about every day. This is just about when it's hectic and when you can. If you can as well, you could cook 2 meals in one sitting maybe, and then
like a meal prep.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
And always think about, how am I going to do after this? Because, for example, if you're going to be cooking like 5, but then 5 meals for throughout the week, but then it makes you feel tired, then don't do it at that moment, because it makes you feel tired. Maybe cut it to 2. Don't make it too sudden. Do it bit by bit. And I would relate that to last week's topic,
So
which was about
small habits.
Yes.
Small habits, but big health.
Yeah, exactly.
Changes.
Because when you think about small habits, like, you don't get a pound. It has to be compounded because of the pennies that you've earned or you've saved, and then you get a pound, or whole 5 pounds, because you've got the pennies or the pounds, so 1 pound. So we start small steps, and then later on you will realize what works for you, what is best for you. Again, it should be catered depending on your lifestyle, depending on who are you living with. That is very important as well, because if you are trying to stay healthy, or trying to, I'm trying to cut all the foods, but then the people in the house doesn't know that you're trying to do that. Yeah. Or, for example, let's talk about smoking as well. Like, that's part of a very important routine. Like, I want to cut smoking, but then my friends do smoke.
Smoking a lot.
But if you inform those people that I'm trying to cut out, They'll be more conscious as well of themselves, and in the end, you might be helping them to be going to quit smoking as well. So juggling life, work, the balance that you wanted, always boils down to what can I do quick, but at the same time is healthier. It doesn't have to be perfect. Always aim for what is better.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's so difficult to focus on yourself with everything that we've talked about, the things that gets in the way with regards to life itself. And then being at home, trying to change or trying to make these small habits and small changes. And then the people that you live with are not on the same page, or they're not having that situation, for themselves. So it's very difficult, especially when you're sharing a house with people, even your family. If Chris, my husband, if he's in a diet and I'm not, it's very difficult for him. So vice versa. If I want to restrict myself in cakes, but he wants cakes.
And for moms out there as well, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, you're gonna end up wanting to finish the food of your children because you don't want to waste
anything.
Yeah, but sometimes there will be actual ways of how maybe you could preserve it rather than eating it. I know a lot of moms out there, they're doing their shout outs now, saying that yes, they can relate. But yes, again, for myself, Cheryl, I do use this acronym FAT. So frequency, amount, and the type. So frequency, if I'm going to be eating broccoli, how often should this be? If I'm going to be eating fast food, how often should this be? How many times have I eaten McDonald's this week? How many times have I eaten red meat this week? And then the amount, how much did I eat? Like, how much of the fries, of the chips? I don't personally restrict myself to eating. I would eat, but I make sure that sometimes, there has to be a limit. And also, there has to be a way of burning those calories.
That's right. So a lot of things that Chris would say is you don't necessarily have to restrict yourself in what you're eating and how much you're eating, as long as you balance it out with the movements.
Yeah, so that's when you are thinking of the FAT again, the frequency, the amount, and the type of food that you are eating. When you're grocery shopping as well, think FAT, frequency, amount, and type. How often should I buy fish and chips? Especially the ultra processed foods these days, Cheryl, because as you see,
it's in everything.
Life in the UK as well is getting much easier because of these
easy
delivery
process
systems that we have. And it's convenient, it's a comfort. But again, we have to think about, is it healthy for us? Actually take a step back and pause and think about it. Is this going to do good to my body in the long term? Because it is like restoring in there. And if we live 60, 70, 80, 90 years, imagine that. And that's going to be in me. And think about what's behind, the food. Like when you're eating chipsies, there's trans fat in the repeated heating of the oil that they use.
Well, this is why people in certain countries, so let's take Philippines, for example, in certain parts of the country there, if you're not in the city, they're living longer. Because, my mother-in-law is 89 years old. And she is so much stronger than I am. And it's because she puts it down to the amount of vegetables that she has in her diet.
Exactly.
And, if you're in the Philippines, you're able to grow your own vegetables. That's even, I think that's the secret to just the organic of the food. Here, it's very hard to get organic food here.
Again, it is a lot... to me personally, because I grew up in the city as well, comparing how it was in the Philippines as well, you can't get small amounts of pre-packed vegetables. Well, in here, if you go to the groceries or like big shops, you can always see small amounts, which is just what you need, especially if people like young ones as well who live on their own, like mid-20s or 30s, or just starting their life abroad. you could always get those fresh, not fresh, but maybe frozen in small packs.
Yes, yeah.
And that's very handy.
That's really interesting about the frozen that you mentioned,
Yes.
because there's a misconception that anything frozen is not good for you.
Yeah,
So that's actually something that I will take away with me today, is that frozen vegetable
yes, not
is
as good
actually as good as fresh ones, because it's so
yes.
hard to get fresh,
Definitely.
especially in your busy lifestyles. And you don't have that time to pick up those fresh veg. So that's excellent. That's
so
what
thank
I
you
was
for
gonna
that
say.
first question.
Yeah.
And the
I think we
second
have
one-
another. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
this
I
one
think
is,
we've got time
is
for one more.
Snoring that.
Ah.
All right. So any one of you snores?
Hands up. Hands up. Hands up.
Okay. So snoring, like in some children, it could be normal because if they're so tired, or even adults, it could be normal as well. But we have to look out as well, especially children can have those that are who have very enlarged tonsils as well. It could affect their breathing. So it sends their tongues as well, and that could lead, like I have a nephew. He's gonna go through a certain surgery sooner or later because he will be having because he's having this kind of problem. He snores a lot when he sleeps. And to adults, these are risk factors, or what we call as warning signs as well, of OSA, sleep apnea. So when you are having a loud snores, if it's just like every now and then because of like very tired activities, that's fine. But if it's something that really disrupts like the whole room when you're sleeping every single night, and it's actually something that is related to, again, stroke, heart attacks, metabolic risk factors, because sleep apnea is a very like common, especially for men as well, in numbers. So you really have to check with your GP.
Yeah.
If you're snoring a lot.
Fantastic.
Just
Actually, he is very good. And in fact, it's probably me.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, because he has taken a video, and it's not terrible. It's just more than him. And with the amount of physical activity that he does, but because he seemingly inwards and outward is very fit, he doesn't snore. So I do. But in the last few minutes of our show, we can really, like any of the topics that we have discussed over the past couple of weeks, we can really talk about this so the house comes on. There's so much. Exactly.
About gout as well.
Oh my goodness. Well, please continue with your questions. Again, please send them to us. Reach out to your resident minister if you do not have our telegram numbers. We definitely hope that in the future shows in Fit and Faithful, we are able to answer these questions for you. But very quickly, because we have run out of time, because the show is just so good. Our guest here today, who's not going to be a guest soon, she's going to be a crew member for INCRadio.
Say no when you
No, we've given her the uniform, so she can't take it off. So really, she's going to have to keep it. Now, just very quickly, we would like to acknowledge, before we do our shout outs for our guest here, Kaloy, we'd like to shout out and acknowledge our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo Manalo, our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Manalo, our District Supervising Minister, one you have met today, that is for Britain South, which is Brother Harley Alcantara. I believe he's still here. Britain North, we have Brother Romeo Anthony Pena, and for Ireland, we have Pepito Aquesta, Brother Pepito Aquesta. If you have missed any of today's show, please go back onto your YouTube. All you have to type is INCRadio UK, and with today's date, which is actually the date of the Philippines. So it will be the 5th of January, 2026. But if you are already subscribed, you can also go back to previous videos. Again, if you want to watch Darwin Boyson's advice on certain mental health, so Kaloy's advice with regards to diabetes, and just the health check in general. And of course, if any of the shows that you have missed, please go back and see them. Please keep watching and listening via the YouTube and again in your app. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe today and be notified every time a show is coming. And please also don't forget, we have INC news and updates in Facebook, and we are in Instagram and in Twitter. But very quickly, Kaloy, who would you want to say hello to?
Oh, yes. I want to say hi to our resident minister, Brother TJ Aureliano, and his family, Sister Che and Brother Isaiah, Brother Hero, and of course, a lovely wife, Sister Hannah, who's actually commenting that the show was very informative. And hopefully, a lot of you has gained something from today's show. And saying shout out to the leadership in Notting Hill. A shout out to all the brethren in Eastbourne who've been so cooperative in our past activity. And we are roaming or going around UK, so watch out. INCRadio is going to be there in your areas, in Cornwall, in Torquay, in East Anglia, in Norwich. We'll be there.
Like today, the live show is behind Battersea, so please make sure that your congregation has a chance to host a live show as well.
Yes, and also, Sister Cheryl, if we can, we will try and make this in maybe in our next episodes. Like whoever will be asking questions will be giving
A prize. Woo, who doesn't like prizes? Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for watching us. Shout out to everybody. Happy New Year. And please make sure that you tune in next week on INCRadio United Kingdom Fit and Faithful at 4 p.m. So from everybody here from our district of Britain South, Ireland and Britain North, have a good Sunday.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Faith and faithful.